Equipment had to be taken apart so that it could be loaded aboard planes. It was flown across Burma over the Himalayas to Kunming in China. Enemy interception, particularly from the important air base at Myitkyina, denied them a direct line and forced them north over a much higher route. They flew across jungles, through mist and fog, over mountains, often at heights of over 20,000 feet, with the menace of Japanese planes ever present. They made a sky bridge 525 miles long over the roof of the world and carried across in unarmed transport planes the vital supplies needed by the American and Chinese air forces and the Chinese armies. But it wasn't enough. There was still desperate need for a land bridge. So at the end of 1942, a road was started. The Lido Road. Starting at Lido in northern India, the plan was to drive through jungles, rivers, mountains, and Jap opposition to a juncture with the Burma Road. A supply route would then be forged from Calcutta to Lido by rail, across the Lido-Burma Road to Kunming, and thence to Chungking in China. Burma's mountains, rivers, railways, and highways extend from north to south. To push through this new road, the Allies would have to fight against the grain from west to east. The Lido Road was begun by a handful of men facing a task that had been called impossible. At the docks in Calcutta, second largest city of the British Empire, supplies from America and Great Britain and the factories of India were piling up, waiting to be hauled to the Lido Road and the hump. Some of the supplies were sent by water up the Hooghly River to the Brahmaputra in primitive flatboats and barges. Almost as cumbersome a route was the Bengal-Assam Railway. It traveled a circuitous road, making long detours to outlying tea plantations, switching 3 times to different gauge rails over roadbeds that had to be constantly repaired as a result of the monsoon. The conquest of the Japs had to keep pace. More and more Chinese were being trained at Ramgarh in India and at Kunming in China. These were to become part of the Yunnan force that were to strike at the enemy from the China-Burma border across the Salween River. In northern India, the Chinese-American Composite Wing had been organized by Major General Claire Chennault for the Generalissimo. A picked group of American volunteers was instructing Chinese pilots and crews to fly the latest types of planes,